After Caitlin Clark's injury, ticket prices have gone down 75%, which we knew would happen because if Caitlin's not there, we don't care.
Obviously, we've seen that Caitlin Clark is injured, so the get-in price for the Sky versus Fever game on June 7th was $86, literally 48 hours ago. Now it's down to $25 after it was announced that Caitlin Clark was injured. So this is a 71% drop in ticket prices just because of Caitlin Clark's injury alone.
All right, listen up, because the WNBA season is feeling less like a straightforward basketball league governed by clear rules and more like a full-blown sports soap opera with new dramatic episodes dropping constantly. And the latest one just hit with a comment from someone high up in the Indiana Fever organization that has the entire WNBA world buzzing and questioning what is truly happening behind the scenes. We're talking about Fever President Kelly Krauskopf, a major figure in the team's front office, a person who knows what's really going on with the team and the league, and she just said something about Caitlin Clark's injury and the team's situation that has people wondering if the Fever are facing more fundamental, serious problems than they're letting on. Problems that go deeper than just one star player being hurt for a short time. It wasn't just a simple update about a player being hurt, which happens in sports all the time. It reportedly felt like she dropped a bold statement, maybe even spilled some tea about the team's unexpected struggles and lack of depth without their biggest star, or just let something important slip out that wasn't meant to be highlighted publicly, and that shows the pressure on the team, and her reaction to the situation has everyone talking and adding a whole new dramatic layer to this already intense season. You definitely need to hear what she said and why it's causing such a stir, and adding to the feeling that the WNBA is in a chaotic, confusing place right now, navigating uncharted territory with its biggest star being out of the lineup. You're watching WNBA Scoop, and we're diving into Kelly Krauskopf's shocking reaction to Caitlin Clark's injury and what it might reveal about the chaos, the pressure, and the difficult, unexpected situation hitting the Fever in the league right now, pushing everyone involved, from the front office to the players to their limits and exposing potential weaknesses.
And unfortunately, news broke that Caitlin Clark unfortunately has sustained a quad strain injury from the sound of it and is out for, it sounds like, at least 2 weeks. Justin, did you have some more info on that?
Yeah, 2 weeks that she's out with a quad strain injury. The Fever head coach, Stephanie White, this is a quote from her talking about this. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is a competitor and wants to play. Obviously, everyone wants to watch her play, but for me, it's about making sure we address this in a way that doesn't affect her long term.
Sounds totally reasonable. I think obviously she's instrumental to what that team does.
The comment reportedly came from Fever President Kelly Krauskopf, a name well known and respected in the WNBA world, especially in Indiana, where she runs the team's operations and makes big decisions. It happened when she was talking to reporters and people about Caitlin Clark's injury and how it affects the team's ability to play games and win, especially early in the season when every win matters. She was reportedly giving a necessary update, like team presidents do, about the situation with injuries and the lack of available players on the roster. Reports say she mentioned that the team is currently heavily down in numbers, meaning they don't have enough healthy players ready to play right now because several key players, including their most important one, Caitlin Clark, are out due to injuries. She said that because of this serious lack of available players, they are actively looking at adding another player to the team very quickly, maybe even using a special kind of contract for temporary players to fill in for someone who is hurt and help with the lack of available players on the court. She called it a necessary and quick adjustment that the team has to make fast because games are still happening and they need players on the court to compete at a professional level.
Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. I was watching the WNBA, there was nothing on the TV, so I said, why do I just support women? I'm a proud feminist anyways. It was one of the worst things I've ever watched. All I saw was straight bricks. But Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. That girl can hoop. I will say, Caitlin Clark, your ass need a new team. The people on your team some trash. And I know you can't even tell them that they're trash, so I might need to talk to your coach. I was watching the last 4 minutes of the game. I know y'all niggas ain't watch it, so I'm gonna explain it to y'all. Caitlin Clark Clark had like 6 open passes to their teammates. Wide open layups. They missed every single layup. Them niggas lost the game. And for a game, Caitlin Clark had to take a 99% contested 3 because she knows she can't rely on them sorry ass niggas, so she had to shoot herself. Caitlin Clark, we gonna need to find you another team. I would say pairing you with Reese would be some cinema, but if your teammates is breaking like that, your ass definitely can't be with Reese. We need to pair you up with like Asia Wilson. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
But then, reportedly, she said something that really caught people's attention and felt like it might have been a bit more revealing or unexpected than just a normal injury update you'd hear from a team president. She was talking about the team needing to add a player quickly because they don't have enough available players. And reports say it felt like she let the cat out of the bag, meaning she accidentally revealed something important or sensitive about the team's struggles, something they might not have wanted to highlight, about how this lack of players is impacting things beyond just needing bodies on the court for games. People are interpreting her comments as showing just how much the team is unexpectedly struggling right now because of injuries, particularly the unexpected loss of Caitlin Clark, who drives so much of their offense, and how it's putting a lot of pressure on the front office to find players fast to fill the gaps and try to keep the team competitive while their stars heal. This wasn't just a simple update about needing another player, it reportedly felt like she dropped a bold statement, perhaps showing the unexpected pressure the team is under, revealing how thin the roster might be in terms of depth, or highlighting how difficult and unplanned this injury situation is making things for the team's plans and expectations for the season, creating a crisis that wasn't anticipated.
How do you feel about just her impact on the game, and specifically WNBA, and then their future game that they have?
With Caitlin Clark not being there for this game, it is obvious that people were not going to want to see the game without her, because it's the camaraderie. Is almost like seeing Bird against the Lakers without Magic, or Magic against Boston without Bird.
So what exactly is the situation with Caitlin Clark's injury that is causing all this talk and pressure on the team president and the front office? Reports say that Caitlin Clark has a left quad strain, which happened recently in a game. She's now reportedly out for at least 2 weeks, according to the team's announcement. This means she's missing several important games during this time, games that people were really excited to see her play in because of her popularity. What makes this particularly impactful, beyond just a star player being hurt, is that some of the games coming up were already moved to much bigger arenas specifically because of Caitlin Clark's huge popularity and the number of fans who buy tickets to see her play. For example, a game against the Washington Mystics was reportedly moved from their usual smaller arena to a bigger arena in Baltimore to fit more fans. And a highly anticipated game against the Chicago Sky was reportedly moved from the Sky's usual building to the United Center in Chicago, which is the largest arena in the NBA and holds many more people, all because of the excitement and ticket demand around Clark playing in those games.
This is not the time to hit the panic button, but it's time to feel concerned about the Indiana Fever. They are horrible without Caitlin Clark. They look awful. Caitlin Clark is literally the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. She makes everybody around her better. Like, Lexi Hull is literally Steve Kerr. Sophie Cunningham may be John Paxson. Aaliyah Boston might be Horace Grant. I'm dead serious, man. This team is not good without her. Kelsey Mitchell.
The main reason these games were moved to bigger arenas and were selling so many tickets was simple: the Caitlin Clark effect. People want to see her play live, and they buy tickets in huge numbers, filling up arenas that were previously empty or only partly full for WNBA games. The WNBA was reportedly betting big on her popularity and her ability to bring in fans and attention to sell tickets and make the league much bigger this season. But now that she's injured and not playing in these big games that were moved to bigger arenas just for her, it's creating a strange, awkward, and potentially costly situation for the teams in the league. People who bought tickets specifically to see her might be disappointed because the main reason they bought the tickets is no longer playing. The question that many people are asking now is, will the teams or the league give any money back or somehow make up for the fact that she's not playing in these games that were moved to bigger arenas just for her, games where ticket prices were much higher because of her presence? One article reportedly mentioned that it's unclear if teams will provide any compensation or ticket refunds to fans who bought tickets expecting to see her play, which adds a layer of financial drama and potential fan anger to the injury situation, beyond just the impact on the team's performance on the court.
Really dig in deep. This is an athlete who has 5 million followers on social media. 5 million. And yet, only 300,000 people watched the game against Brazil. 300,000. Comparatively, the player you hate, the player you think is overrated, the player that you say is being followed by a MAGA cult and followed by a bunch of her team against Brazil drew 1.3 million viewers on television for a preseason game that they won by 64 points.
People are also looking at the bigger picture of officiating and how the league is being run overall when they talk about Clark's injury and the team's struggles. Some people feel that the way the WNBA games have been called by the refs, especially regarding the physical play against Caitlin Clark, has been unfair and inconsistent, allowing opponents to play too physically against her without calling fouls. They feel that this tough, uncalled physical play might have contributed to her getting injured, even if it wasn't one single specific foul that caused it. While the team hasn't directly said her injury was caused by a specific foul or by the overall physicality she's faced, the ongoing debate about the level of physicality in the league and the inconsistency of officiating adds to the frustration and concern among fans and analysts when she does get hurt, making people question if the league is doing its job to protect its players, especially its biggest stars who bring the most attention and revenue.
My God. Angel Reese went on a tirade the other day, talking about how many people are now tuning in to watch women's basketball, not just because of Caitlin Clark, but because of Angel Reese as well. Saying a lot of women have done so much for the sport, but specifically, people are watching because of me too. That's what Angel Reese said. Folks, in last video we were talking about Kennedy Carter. It was her shot. She had a shot tonight. She could have captivated whatever 50, 60, 70, maybe 100,000 people are watching that game. She could have stole the attention span of that all the Edens.
People are also talking about the person in charge of the WNBA, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and her way of handling things. Some people feel like she has a strange way of running the league and dealing with important issues, especially when it comes to player safety and officiating consistency. They compare her to someone like Simon Cowell from America's Got Talent, a judge known for being harsh and focused on performance. But instead of judging singers, she seems to be deciding what kind of rough play is okay in basketball and what isn't, in a way that seems inconsistent and unfair to many. People are saying that Engelbert might see aggressive hitting near the basket as good hustle and allow it, instead of calling fouls to protect the players from injury. They joke that Caitlin Clark could get hit by a steamroller on the court, and the commissioner would just issue a statement calling it robust defense, meaning strong play, instead of calling a foul or taking action to stop that kind of physicality, making fun of the league's perceived priorities. People feel that her way of managing calls and talking about the game and player safety makes fans question if she's serious about fairness, or if she's just trying to add a little extra show or drama to the game to get attention, even if it hurts the players.
If you guys are taking a look at your screen, you're seeing a lot of empty seats, but folks, I don't want you to be alarmed. These are not empty seats. These are people actually dressed up as empty seats. That whole top row where you see 2 people in a section, 3 people in a section, nobody in a section, even in the middle row, you see it empty. I mean, it's just empty there. Where are all these people that Angel Reese are talking about? Where are all these people that Angel Reese is saying are coming to watch women's basketball? More specifically, because of her.
Kelly Krauskopf reportedly talking about the team being down in numbers, meaning they don't have enough players, and needing to add a player quickly because of injuries, especially Clark's, highlights the immediate pressure on the team's front office. People are wondering if Krauskopf, as the team president, has publicly and clearly addressed the big problems with the refs and the way the game is being called, because it feels like the team office isn't communicating much about these controversial topics and the concerns that fans and coaches have about the officiating problems. People are saying it feels like the Fever front office is running some kind of secret operation, like a hidden escape room with clues scattered everywhere, but nobody really knows what the plan is or what's really going on behind the scenes when it comes to these important issues. People feel there's not enough clear talk from the team about the controversial fouls Clark has taken and the consistency of calls, and it leaves fans and players wondering what the plan is to fix it and why the refs are calling the games the way they are, leading to frustration and distrust from the people who are watching. People feel that the lack of clear communication from the team about the officiating problems and the injury situations is making things worse for everyone involved. They're saying the team feels trapped in a confusing situation that they can't easily get out of, where they're dealing with injuries and inconsistent calls at the same time. People are comparing the team's struggles to how good they could be if everyone was healthy and playing well together. They imagine a dream team where Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and other talented players are healthy and ready to compete at the highest level and win championships.
Carolina Fever showed up and showed out in its blowout win over the Chicago Sky. The game was filled with a bunch of drama. There was a lot of tension between Angel and Caitlin, and I'm here to tell you, Angel did speak with reporters immediately after the game. Caitlin Clark captured a triple-double, and with all that being said, roll the footage.
How did you feel like you guys did in those 3 areas?
Yeah, I don't think we did them at the best that we could. Obviously, first game, we got to look back at the film and do things better. I think we definitely had good spurts where we could see that we could definitely get back and definitely rebound and definitely play in transition. So I think we'll just go back to the draw.
People are also talking about how good the team could be if they find the right players to play with Caitlin Clark, players who fit her style and make the team better. People are saying Clark is like a famous point guard from the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton, because she can make amazing passes and control the speed and flow of the game, making her teammates better. People see a lot of similarities in how they play and how they can make their teams dangerous. Krauskopf also reportedly said that finding the right types of players to play with a point guard like Clark will make the team awfully dangerous, meaning very good and hard to beat. And she said she's looking forward to that challenge of finding those players who fit well with Clark's talent and make the team even better.
I might have to repeat it like 50 more times because y'all suck. Y'all talk a real big game. Y'all talk a real big game. Y'all tell us just how amazing Angel Reese is. Y'all tell us how y'all ride or die with Angel Reese. And you know what? This ain't on Angel Reese. This isn't even about Angel Reese. It's about y'all. You suck. All of y'all suck. Ellis.
People are looking at the team now, especially with Clark's injury, and thinking about how good they could be if everyone was healthy and playing well together. They imagine a dream team where Clark and other players are healthy and ready to compete at the highest level. But then they see the strange way the refs call the game, like calling a foul on Clark for just showing confidence or making a quick move near another player at the very start of a game. Calls that seem unnecessary or unfair. People feel this is a confusing and unfair way to start a game, and that it shows the refs are more focused on strange things or showing bias than on calling fair fouls based on the rules of basketball. This makes people watching wonder if the games are fair or if the refs are doing things on purpose for other reasons.
Is how much this continues. Is there going to be a fall off, weeks to come? Is there going to be a fall off in the viewers weeks to come? And if it continues to make that difference in the sales and in the output of what everything the brand is doing, then it's going to raise another situation to where people got to put way more respect on Caitlin Clark's name.
People are saying that the team's plan to play well and win is being hurt by these strange calls and the lack of calls for fouls against them, and it makes fans and players wonder if fairness has been forgotten. People feel like fairness has taken a backseat to other things, like making the games look a certain way, making them more physical, or maybe favoring other teams or players who have been in the league longer. People are saying that the team is dealing with injuries and needing to bring in new players quickly to fill in, and they're trying to find a way to play together in a rhythm. Even with all these changes to the roster and the strange way the games are called, The coach is reportedly trying to make the game plan simpler so the players can focus on just a few things and play without thinking too much, even if some players have to play in spots they're not used to because of injuries.
Indiana Fever ticket prices are plummeting. Since Caitlin Clark's injury and minimum 2-week absence were announced on Monday, fans are second-guessing how much they're willing to pay to go to a game. Even the get-in price to the Fever's said rivalry game dropped from $86 to $25. It's also worth noting these two road games were expected to be huge, so they were moved to bigger arenas. In fact, the NBA's largest arena in United Center. According to TickPick, the average purchase price for the 5 games until Caitlin is expected to return is down almost $60. The 5 remaining road games in June following Caitlin's expected return still have a get-in price that exceeds $100.
People are saying that even though the New York Liberty are a very good team, maybe even unfairly good, they also seem to get calls from the refs that no other team gets, giving them an advantage. People are saying it looks like the Liberty have a special kind of protection or favor from the refs that other teams don't get. They joke that a player on the Liberty could do something rough, like punch someone or take their pads, and the refs would still give her a point because she was being creative or aggressive, making fun of the idea that the refs favor them. Meanwhile, they say, if Clark just stands there, the refs call a foul on her. People watching are starting to see a pattern and think that the refs aren't being fair to all the teams and players, and that they are favoring some teams or players over others. People are making videos and posts online showing how the refs miss fouls when the other team fouls Clark, using slow motion and music to show how clear the fouls are and how the refs are ignoring them. They're joking about the excuses people make for why the Fever aren't playing well, like saying it's because they don't play defense, which people feel is unfair to the team given the issues with the refs. People feel that the way the league and some people talk about Clark and the fouls is like making fun of the situation and not taking it seriously, even though it's hurting the game and maybe even causing injuries. People feel that the level of unfairness or gaslighting, making people question what is real, is surprising and is taking away from the game. People are saying that injuries are a part of sports, and they understand that it sucks if you buy a ticket to see a player and they're hurt. But they're also saying that the way the league is handling things is making it look like they don't care about the players or the fans who are buying tickets. They say if a big player like LeBron James or Steph Curry in the NBA was hurt, nobody would ask if fans should get their money back for tickets, because it's understood that injuries happen in sports and you don't get refunds. People feel that talking about giving money back for Clark's injury is like saying the WNBA isn't a real professional business that follows the normal rules of sports and ticket sales. People feel that the New York Liberty team is very good, but it's hard to take the game seriously and feel like the competition is fair when it looks like the refs are helping one side or calling the game differently for one team. They say it's like the league is taking home court advantage for the Liberty and making it a rule that the refs have to favor them, which makes the games feel less fair and less exciting for people who want to see a real competition. People say it's tiring to watch games where the rules don't seem to be the same for everyone on the court. People who are fans of the Fever just want to see their team play well and win, especially now that they have exciting players like Caitlin Clark, who is bringing so much attention to the league. They're happy to see more people watching and buying tickets, but then they see the problems with the refs, and it makes them mad and question the league and if they can trust what they're seeing. People feel that Commissioner Kathy Engelbert isn't seeing or isn't doing enough about the problems with the refs and the consistent unfair calls. They think Kelly Krauskopf, the team president, needs to do more too. Maybe act more strongly and publicly call out the league for the way the games are being called, because it feels like the team office isn't communicating much about these controversial topics and the concerns that fans and coaches have about the officiating problems. People feel that if the team and the league don't deal with the problems with the refs and make the games fair for everyone, the drama and the unfairness will just keep happening and will hurt the league in the long run, causing fans to leave. People are saying that the league needs to grow up and be more professional. They say players should focus on playing basketball well, not on drama or being jealous of someone else's success. They feel like the league needs to make the game the most important thing, not all the side stories or controversies. They think if players and the league focused on playing great basketball and making sure the refs were fair, more people would watch and respect the WNBA, and it would become a much bigger sport. People are saying that the way the WNBA games are being called right now feels more like a gladiator arena where players are just trying to survive than a professional basketball league where skill and fairness are the most important things, meaning it's too rough and chaotic. While some fans might like the roughness, people feel that the fans the league needs to attract, the casual viewers who are new to the WNBA, are turning away because the games feel unfair or too messy to watch. People say these fans didn't come to watch wrestling. They came for real basketball. If the league keeps ignoring players' safety and fairness and doesn't hold aggressive players responsible, those casual fans who are new will keep leaving. People are saying that the problems with the refs are not just mistakes. They're like the refs are making choices that hurt the game and make it look bad on purpose. They think the league needs to make sure the refs are fair to everyone and call the game the same way for all players. People are saying that Caitlin Clark is a hero to many young girls because she works hard and doesn't give up, even when things are tough. They think she shows that you can be a good player and succeed even if people try to push you down or make things hard for you. People are saying that Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky are winning games and looking confident, even though the Fever are expected to be better and are struggling right now. People are saying that the Sky are doing better than people thought, and the Fever are not doing as well as people thought. People think that maybe the league needs to let the good players just play and not make things too complicated. They think that if the coach makes the game plan too hard, it makes it harder for the team to play well. People are saying that if the team keeps making things too hard, they might keep losing games and fall behind teams like the Sky. People feel that the lesson from this season is to keep the game plan simple and let the talented players play. People think that if the Fever team makes the game plan easier, they will be able to play better and win more games, even without Caitlin Clark, or when she comes back, because the talent is there. People feel that this season is showing that sometimes having simple plans and letting the talented players play is better than making things too complicated and messy. What do you think about Kelly Krauskopf's comments and the situation with the Fever? Is the league handling things well? Drop your opinion in the comments below.